Yes, India has won the Champions Trophy, hosted by Pakistan, beating New Zealand in the final, played in that beautiful Pakistani city of Dubai. We could whinge about that home ground advantage that they had, but they are a terrific white ball team, aren't they?
They are. I think the narrative around the tournament probably diminished the fact that they had the strongest squad there. When you look at the list heading into it, you would have picked India as the favourite from day dot. Yes, they didn't have to move. Yes, they played a lot of games in Dubai. But they're a very, very good white ball team and showcased that in the final. Even
the skipper, who didn't have the great series against Australia, obviously arrived late and then didn't play in the last Test match, but he was terrific. He came through. He copped criticism from in India as well. Yeah, he did. I think he was fat shamed by a politician. Yeah, imagine that happening in Australia. But I think that's what you want from your skipper in particular, and someone opening the batting in a World Cup, in a Champions Trophy final, someone to come out, take the game on, and he did just that and basically put India in the box seat in that chase. And at the end of the day, New Zealand didn't have a whole heap of things go their way, but then between Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul to ice it, pretty impressive.
I mean, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa all were playing in most of their games in Pakistan, and like you said, India were based in Dubai, all playing their games in Dubai. Could they not have done it a little bit differently, perhaps India playing their games in Abu Dhabi and then the final in Dubai, where it was a little bit more, I suppose, fair for that team travelling to Dubai?
I guess you could throw that around and potentially say that's the case. You could go to Sharjah down the road as well, but then think about the teams that are travelling into Dubai, then they've got to travel again as well. So it's an interesting discussion, and I think this byplay will continue to roll out over time. But I mean, the next Champions Trophy is in 2029 in India, so the irony is that they'll have to travel a lot more around their own country than a lot of the other teams.
Will Pakistan refuse to play there?
Well, Pakistan played in the ODI World Cup in India. They played on Indian soil, so it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds. But look, they are by far one of the best white ball sporting teams at the moment, and we should celebrate that. But I think there'll forever be some sort of asterisk, which is a bit sad.
How relevant is the Champions Trophy when you have got so many other ICC events?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, and you probably look at some of the calibre of players that didn't potentially go and play in that tournament as exactly how it sits in the calendar at the moment. Initially, the Champions Trophy was started to take cricket to nations that, were still growing in the game of cricket. I think it started in Kenya, went to Zimbabwe, went to these sorts of places, and then all of a sudden they went away from that, played it in England. Now they've gone to India in 2029, so I don't know, they'll have to find the relevance of it again. I mean, it is the top 8 teams going head-to-head, which is what you want to see, but we're interested to see how it pans out.
Plenty of great contenders, but is Glenn Phillips the best fielder in the world? His catching in this tournament has been extraordinary. This is in the final with getting Shubman Gill out. It is just phenomenal. He had a history, he said, as a kid of gymnastics, which helps him in terms of the landing and all that.
Do you not think he just puts a bit of mayo onto it?
A bit of mayo.
I think
mayo?
A little bit.
Put mayo on that.
Just a little bit.
You reckon a little kick out at the end?
A little bit.
Saying he didn't need to jump.
Well, I mean, it's extraordinary, but it does look as if he puts a bit of mayo on some of it.
No.
In my opinion.
Maybe once he takes it, once he knows he's got it, then maybe there's a little bit
of...
Then I think he has to be athletic there to protect himself. I mean, that's where he's put the mayo on potentially there. Otherwise, he's landing on the hard square.
Well, these are the other ones. That was Rizwan, wasn't it?
Oh, that's complete mayo on that.
Mayo.
See there, a little bit. So once he's got the ball, he kind of...
that is a whole egg. This is Virat Kohli, who was... see that? It's behind him before he catches it.
I've watched that one in replay a lot, and I think you miss, and you see it right at the start, but you miss how close he is to the bat. He's 10 metres off the ring there, which isn't far, and the one at short cover was pretty similar. So, yeah you might look like Mayo, but he's reacting like nobody else can, Candice.
You're officially a hard marker.
Yeah.
Officially. 3 screamers in the tournament, as we said there, with Virat Kohli, who didn't even believe that it had happened. But he was training to be a pilot as well, this kid, as well as being a gymnast. Phenomenal. All right, it was a pretty good tournament for Aussie captain Steve Smith, one that marks his final one day. He's decided to pull the pin. Any surprises in that for you?
No real surprise, obviously being around the game and seeing the contracts that he's maybe signed during the winter and maybe clashing with some Aussie tournaments or fixtures. So, but yeah, look, it's probably an evolving one-day team. The next World Cup's in 2027. A lot of the boys that have played together for an extended period of time are getting a little bit older, and what that team looks like moving forward, we'll have to wait and see. But what an amazing career he's had.
That was a nice moment with Virat as well. He kind of asked him, so is it true, this is your last game, and had the great moment between two amazing players. Yeah, because his test form was good. He was solid across summer, wasn't he?
Oh, he just was really back to his best. Seeing Steve Smith score centuries is awesome. But 170 ODIs, 5,800 runs. He's very handy in the ODI format as well.
Yeah. We're always obviously on the lookout for the next Steve Smith, and will be. I think we found him in India. What down he goes.
Oh, they all do it, Tony. The kids these days.
He's putting mayo on that.
I just don't know if he's fidgeting enough. I don't think he's touched his pads or his box enough.
It's a big leave, though. It's a very big leave. I love it. Batters are taught, just watch the ball. Now, look, I'm not sure how you focus on the ball when you're faced with a run-up like this one.
I love this.
He managed to...
The TikTok runner.
I reckon I've watched this 100 times. I think it's brilliant.
Any mayo on that, you reckon?
Not enough.
Thank you.
Oh, that's brilliant.